Ladies and gentlemen, season 2 of the Daily Intermission podcast pregame show brought to you by Nate and Greg. Nate, how you doing today, bud?
Pretty good. Yeah, I was going to say we don't have a sponsor for the pregame show.
Not quite yet.
But yeah, I'm doing good, dude. How are you doing?
It's been a busy week, man. It seems like the workload continues to pile up. But yeah, we're getting things dialed in. I think we got a new camera angle going here. The lighting seems to be a little bit more dialed in if you're watching on YouTube. So
let us know in the comments if it's if you like this or if you like the old one, because we don't really want to change it again. So hopefully you like this one.
No, for sure. Nate, what do you think about the merch launch, man? I was excited about it. People are starting to wrap the Daily Intermission around the globe.
Got the nice, that's right. Got the nice promo video in. That was good fun.
We're looking to be a helmet sponsor on the Chinese Olympic team as well.
I mean, we might even go after the Ottawa Senators road helmets.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's an opportunity.
There's nothing there. I mean, they may as well take something.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give you $100. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's certainly some marketing opportunity out there for helmet advertisements in the future.
Yes.
Nate, I wanted to bring up in the pregame here about Ozark, and we talked about it last episode about how the part 1 of season 4 concluded.
Yes.
And how's this show going to wrap up? They've got 7 episodes to wrap this thing up.
I don't know, but I'm kind of hoping for the old Wendy Bird death.
Oh, yeah, she's like such a lunatic.
And like I'd only say that because it's a fictional character. Like I would never wish death upon somebody.
Yeah,
except for Wendy Bird. She's just becoming like an absolute villain, dude. Like even when she went into, I mean. You've probably seen the show by now. I'm just going for it here, folks.
Yeah.
When she went into Jonah's hotel there, or the motel,
and
flagged his accounts. It's like, what are you doing, man? It's your son.
Ridiculous.
But I don't know. I mean,
can we reflect back to the past season when Wendy Bird, she was stressed out and she went and she was like just sitting in like a grocery store parking lot in the Odyssey van and chugging
vodka,
like 40s of vodka a day. I'm like, okay, there's no human on this planet outside of Shoe Nice who can.
Yeah, that's true. Shoe Nice.
Yeah,
holy smoke, that's a rabbit hole. I haven't seen that guy in a while, man. I think he's on TikTok still screaming around. Actually.
Yeah, I see him live sometimes on TikTok.
Eating drywall and doing whatever, man. That guy's a nut.
Imagine if Joe Rogan would have had him on Fear Factor.
Oh, he would have.
Yeah, it's like
maggots. Yeah. Like it's a cakewalk. Like, is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a nut, dude.
Big time. So anyway. Do people who I don't want to go down this rabbit hole for too long in the pregame show, Nate, but do people who like Shoe Nice, and I know Steve used to do it, but like absolutely pound alcohol, how are they just wired different? Like, is their stomach lined with something different than mine? Because
there's got to be some serious behind the scenes where they throw it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I know I saw a guy, I'm not going to give a shout out to it, but I was at a concert one time.
Okay.
And I was at a campground and he had gathered just an alarming amount of people. And he's just like, follow my Instagram. It's blah, blah, blah. It's basically like a Steve will do it. It was after Steve will do it. You know what I mean? He was just trying to do his own thing. This dude straight up, I have the video still. He funneled a 60 of rum.
A 60?
He funneled it, dude. So he had like his buddy holding the funnel.
Like that, you gotta have an ambulance on scene for that.
Yeah, and then he just goes and absolutely blows chunks over by the trees.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, what is the point?
First of all, that's an expensive chundy.
Yeah, it's like $60 of just to puke.
Yeah.
But some people, I don't know.
Yeah, that's outrageous. But Nate, I did want to touch on the Bachelor series. I know the Bachelor's on the go right now, and Clayton, a former tight end from some college. Anyway, I don't watch it like religiously, but I definitely keep up with it due to the fact that I'm a one-trick pony when it comes to conversations at a bar with the opposite gender. I mean, I can be, some smooth, but I go in depth. I can talk sports like a maniac, but I need to have something else that if the conversation's going south, it's like, so what'd you think about The Bachelor last Monday?
My dream.
You watched The Bachelor?
Yeah, exactly.
With red wine?
Yeah, it's like, well, that's what I like to do, just completely play it off. It's like, if I'm not watching This Is Us on Netflix, then I'm watching The Bachelor, cracking a bottle of red and enjoying my evening. Usually solo, if you ever want to swing by.
That's right.
But I'm not a big I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Or I guess in proper grammar terms, haven't watched it. But
the premise of it is outrageous.
Oh.
So this guy's like making out with
everything.
This making out with like 6 girls within hours of each other, and they're still all like, "I want." It's like
it's crazy.
It's really odd. It's funny that in 2022, like that premise of a show is still allowed to be aired.
I know. I find it crazy too if you think about it. Like say where you were just saying that, like he'll make out with somebody else and a girl will get like upset about it. It's like, well, surely you've seen the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and I haven't watched it, but even I know it's like they get the honeymoon suite, right?
Yeah, the fantasy suites.
Yeah, the fantasy suites or whatever they are.
The last week he's sleeping with the final three who have been just all fully in love with this guy.
I mean, like, sign me up for this show. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I would love to get on there and just absolutely anyway. It's wild, and it's just crazy how like heartbroken they get. Like how I don't know how you get that emotionally attached to someone.
Well, especially
while they're wheeling other people.
I'm a very self-aware person, and I would look around the room and probably understand that I wasn't going to win the competition the first day.
Imagine me walking in. I'd be like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I mean,
what is this? Like,
it would be a tough scene all around. But yeah, I mean, those shows are crazy. But Nate, just to finish off the pregame show, we'll walk people through the episode because I think that's how we're gonna, we'll get into some rabbit.
I was just gonna touch too quick on just another reality show.
Yeah.
So you watch Bachelor. I like Big Brother, and the Big Brother Celebrity is out, and for whatever reason to God, they've got Lamar Odom in the house.
Oh, what?
So that's gonna be absolute guaranteed like content to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw Lamar Odom, I think he was getting carried out of a brothel.
You are correct. I think that's the last time anyone see him, and I don't know if they were hard up for people or if they were just really looking for some drama. But Lamar Odom is in the Big Brother house, folks. So tune into that.
That's going to be must-watch.
Pregame is brought to you by CBS.
But we're going to have 4 quarters of the episode today and a halftime show. So in quarter 1, we'll break down this past weekend of NFL football, which obviously the conference championships didn't disappoint. We'll move into quarter 2, Nate, will be the NBA, the National Basketball Association. We'll have the halftime show.
A brief halftime.
Yeah, which we'll
guessing the ages.
Guessing the ages of the athletes, 5 each. Then quarter 3, we will dive into the NHL, an exciting weekend in the NHL with the All-Star game and the All-Star break going on. We'll talk a little bit about Alex Ovechkin on how conveniently he got COVID just before the All-Star game. Yep. And we'll finish things off in quarter 4 with a little golf, a little tennis, a little Olympics, and a
little bit of everything outside the big 4.
And that will conclude the pregame, Nate, for today's show. First quarter. The Intermission, episode 13. Nate, it was an exciting week in the NFL. We've got the Super Bowl set in stone. The Cincinnati Bengals will be traveling to Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. We were watching that first game on Sunday, and I'm still a little shocked that Cincinnati was able to come back and win that football game.
Crazy, man. I can't believe it. I mean, what was it, 21-3, I think, when I left your place?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, this is done. I had an OT bet. I was like, well, may as well throw that out the window, hoping for the Rams game later. Yeah. Anyway, I go home.
Fast forward.
Fast forward to just a moment ago.
Just a few minutes later.
Anyway, I got home, had some supper, turned the game back on to catch like the last bit of the third quarter and the fourth. Tie. And I'm like, let's rock and roll. But it was crazy how it went. I mean, Mahomes was kind of dominating through the beginning. He had 3 TDs in the first half.
They almost went 4 for 4.
Yeah.
And drives for touchdowns.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And it seemed like they were just kind of swarming Burrow. I mean, even going into it, man, like Mahomes had so much time the entire game. Like, it's not like... Anyway, I felt from my perspective, like there was one point he was running. It looked like he had the Benny Hill theme on, man. He was just running in circles. Like, it was wild.
You're right. It was funny. So yeah, like Nate said, I mean, we come to halftime. I think it's 21-10. I mean, the Chiefs should have made it 28-10. Tyreek Hill gets stopped on the 1 by Eli Apple, which turns out to be a massive play.
Right at half, right?
Right at half. But then, just to kind of talk about the halftime show for a minute, Nate. So I forget which band is playing, but the panel is trying to break down the game, and you can't hear them. They were losing their minds. I thought someone was going to have a stroke because the band at the halftime show was just completely drowning them out.
I can't remember what band it was either, and it was such a random, like, I was like, why are they? What's going on?
Yeah.
And you couldn't hear a word they were saying. The guys just started dancing at some point. They're like, whoever was the engineer or whatever, whoever sets that stuff up above my head.
I never know why they have to be down on the field.
What the guys do in the commentary?
Yeah, like the just 5 people panel. It's for show, obviously, and they think that's going to drive. Go up into a suite.
Yeah, but think of how much field there is, too. It's like, can we get the speakers just like down back left and the guys talking back right?
Yeah.
Like,
whoever
completely
coordinated
separize them. Like,
no.
Separize. Anyway, that's word of the day.
But yeah, I mean, that was outrageous. And then obviously the Bengals come back after a pick by Mahomes. They tie the game 21-21. They end up kicking a field goal to go ahead. This McPherson guy was Evan McPherson, the rookie kicker for the Bengals. I mean, pumpkin nuts. You want to talk about walking around with your nuts in a wheelbarrow.
It's absolute ice.
But then the Chiefs go down, tie the game. They win the toss. And when the Chiefs won the toss, I mean, it's like this game's completely over.
Yeah, man.
They
were literally running off the field cheering.
Yeah, exactly.
As if they had already won.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Then Mahomes almost chucks a pick. I'm like, oh my goodness, like that would have been it. And then he does.
Yeah. I know exactly. He tries to go deep to Tyreek Hill on a cross or on a deep post across the field. Ends up getting deflected by Bates and Von Bell, safety for the Bengals, picks it off, and the Bengals go down and kick a field goal and win. I mean, obviously super happy for Joe Burrow, and we were, that's who we were cheering for. I mean, we get the Houday sign in the back.
Exactly.
I mean, we're Joe Burrow fans here at the Daily Intermission, and it was a huge win for them.
I was under. Wow. Okay.
You were under the impression?
Pardon my stroke. No, I'm assuming it's because I know you can score on the first drive, but like on field goal normally. But where they turned it over, you can score on the field goal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had the opportunity with the ball. Yeah. Nate. So San Francisco. They rolled into SoFi Stadium to play Los Angeles. They actually had a bigger crowd, which isn't surprising because they probably have a bigger fan base in California and just even across the globe in football. The 49ers.
With the Rams just moving, not that
exactly, from Missouri, but and so honestly, it was a bit of a snoozer at one point, and I mean, it looked like the 49ers had a bit of a stranglehold on the game in the late third quarter, but the Rams end up coming back, winning 20-17.
Yep. I thought I was going 2 for 2 on the OTs.
Yeah, for sure.
I really did. And then it was just like they got the ball, and then it was just next thing you know, it's turned over. And I'm like, well, sick. I mean, I can't be too greedy. I got one of them on the day, but
for sure. So there's a few things to break down here, Nate. So for the second straight year, it hadn't happened in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
A team will be playing at home in the Super Bowl. Huge. It'll be advantageous for the Rams. I don't know how advantageous because it's Los Angeles. Like how many A-list celebrities? We've talked about it. I mean, who knows what that crowd? It's gonna be an eclectic crowd in terms of it may not be just diehard Rams football fans.
Man, the box office must be just in shambles right now because you know what I mean. It's like you say Bieber's gonna come. It's like, well, we got to get him a ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's probably so many celebrities that are trying to come, and it's like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we kicking out season ticket holders too, like get like some guys in the stands, like
be like a Johnny Drama. You ever watch Entourage?
Not really.
Okay.
Partially, but Johnny Drama.
You know Johnny Drama? He's like the brother of Vince and Chase, the actor. They're both actors. He'd be like, Vince gets in, and Johnny Drama's like, you didn't make the cut, dude. It's like.
Oh, he's
with the different celebrities.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, it was probably a bad reference, especially because you haven't watched the show. But
watch more stuff.
Matty Stafford, super excited for that guy, man. He's been just such a great quarterback for a long time, in a team that's just been perennial losers and just dumpster fire year after year. So Matty Stafford's going to go to the Super Bowl. His wife, obviously brain cancer survivor, she bought a bunch of tickets for Rams fans for this last game.
Yeah.
Man, it's
salt of the earth.
Exactly. I'm so excited for Matt Stafford and so excited for his wife and just that team. Sean McVay's a great coach. Obviously, they had that tough loss to the Patriots a few years back. I think it was 2019, the last Super Bowl that Brady won for New England. So, I mean, personally, Nate, if we're going to do predictions, which we will right now, I'm all over the Rams. I'm going to hammer the Rams money line.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have a better option to win. They're just like, I mean, they were a pick from the beginning. Like they're so solid too. And I mean, the Bengals are on a bit of a run.
Was that preseason Super Bowl champion?
I'm pretty sure you called Rams at the
think
start.
I did, yeah.
So, I mean,
is that any good, folks?
Yeah, I mean, if you take the futures bet, I mean, we win something every week. I'll let you know how the overtime game buys, but it's going to be on the Super Bowl.
They're going to start calling us the Daily Mint instead of the Daily Intermission.
Yeah, we're literally
just printing money.
We're going to have to get a $2 bill back there or something.
Yeah.
Something rare.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm rooting for the Bengals, but I mean, either way, it's like, okay, Joe Burrow and the boys, the underdog story, they get it done, or it's like Matt Stafford, they get it done. So I feel like
it's a win-win almost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
either way,
sure.
I mean, it would almost be better if the Rams won because I mean, Joe Burrow is going to have another shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm getting very Montreal Canadiens vibes from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I mean,
and
it happens, man.
not to that extent, but it's been so Cinderella-y.
Yeah.
And
how often is it when those teams go on those Cinderella runs that they actually pull it off?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's tough. I mean, I even look back to like you say Montreal. I think of Vegas in their expansion year.
For sure.
I mean Rampage, and then they get to the final, and it's like, all right, well, here's the big dogs.
These are the teams this is the team that's been earning it for years.
Exactly. Absolutely battling.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was interesting, though. Some headlines have come out of San Francisco, too, Nate, just to finish off in the NFL, that Jimmy Garoppolo will be on his way out. I think sources have confirmed that they are looking to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. It's interesting because they're not going to go with Trey Lance, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, he got, I think, a couple games in this year. He's obviously he's a rookie this year. He'll be a sophomore next year, but they're a team that certainly will be in the market for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's from the Bay Area, a guy like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So
there's some options out there for sure.
They're a Super Bowl winning caliber team needing a quarterback, and there's going to be some available.
Yeah.
So
if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I mean, from everything you hear from the guy too, it's like
he's heading to San Fran. Let's call it right now.
Yeah, I mean, may as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always saying Wisconsin sucks. Everyone comes here to be with me. You know what I mean? That's kind of the whole thing. So it's like, I could see
the
this
wall
guy.
is me.
I just see him more likely going there somewhere where he's played in Wisconsin for so long, going somewhere warm where he can kind of enjoy it, rather than like, I know there's a lot of Pittsburgh chatter as well.
He's not. I just don't feel as if he's like. It's just such a diet. Like
I think they're running Rudolph, man.
You think so?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Garoppolo could just go there too.
Yeah.
Or even Wilson. You know, there's plenty of options.
Yeah, for sure. Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. I mean,
someone's gonna have to go to Tampa as well.
They ain't running Rudolph,
right? Someone's gonna Tampa Bay's gonna, unless Kyle Trask from Florida, or I don't know, but the Blaine Train Gabbert, the backup.
I heard Rudolph is going to Tampa Bay.
You heard that?
No, I haven't heard anything.
No, I was gonna say,
I have no
that's just so out of pocket.
Yeah, there's no shot.
Okay, well, that'll conclude quarter one, and we're gonna move into quarter two of the Daily Intermission, episode 13 of season 2. Nate, NBA chatter. Guy by the name of Joe Ingles, Australian, for the Utah Jazz, out for the season with an ACL. It's surprising you don't hear more. I mean, maybe it's just me, but like, I mean, NFL players drop like flies, but it feels as if NBA players, their knees hold up surprisingly well for the surface that they jump around on.
Yeah. Especially the height they go to.
Yeah.
And I mean, and coming down and just, it's kind of wild.
And the makeup genetically of their bodies.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's like, we'll go into it a little in depth later, but you know, even when they jump, it's like, also, I think we should start a segment of ACL tear of the week.
Yeah, we could.
Every week.
Yeah.
Somebody rips an ACL out.
Injury of the week? I mean, I don't know if...
Oh, that could be kind of twisted stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking, I mean, I don't know if that's really...
ACL tear of the week.
Yeah, that's tough, man, because it's devastating for
the
athlete.
It's bad. I mean, it's partially...
The families go through heartbreak, and sometimes it's career ending.
Yeah, I mean, more often than not. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to run the stats on that one, but I've got a lot of bold claims here this evening.
I mean, yeah, we'll see about that. But I did want to talk about the Utah Jazz. So obviously they lose Joe Ingles for the remainder of the season, and they're a team, I mean, they've been kind of a top 4 Western Conference team for a long time, but I'm excited to have Brandon Scoopy Robinson on. He'll be joining us in a few weeks to talk about the NBA All-Star game. But when we look at the Utah Jazz, and we talk all the time on the podcast, Nate, about no man's land, they're a team that, in my opinion, I mean, you got Rudy Gobert. He grabs rebounds, like, honestly, like I've never seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Like, he leads rebounds per game year after year after year, but like a Donovan Mitchell as well. But, I mean, I don't know, like, they just don't seem like they are that talented enough to get it done. Like, they need a piece to win the championship. And I don't know. I just
do you go and try to grab Ben Simmons?
Yeah, or even like I'd be targeting, like, I don't know why other teams haven't done it. Another thing that brings up to, why do people always wait to the trade deadline to make a trade? Is that when teams finally budge and they're like, okay, we're not going to ask for the entirety of...
Yeah,
it's like,
it could be, and it kind of puts that pressure on you too, I feel like, at the deadline, because it's like, okay, well, after this, we're completely screwed.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of GMs look at it like, all right, if I don't do something right now, my job's probably toast.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it quite often where guys are like, they'll kind of blow things up trying to save their job kind of thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Stretch. So it's like, they feel the pressure maybe then. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, you can more than likely get a better deal before the trade deadline. It just doesn't happen.
And it gives you more of a runway to get that chemistry going. But yeah, I think so. The Pacers have obviously announced, we've talked about on the podcast, that they are going to be selling at the deadline. I just think the Utah Jazz, I mean, they could use maybe a piece of, like, maybe a Karis LeVert, or, maybe a Malcolm Brogdon, or, who knows, like a piece from that team to come help them out. But the Utah Jazz are going to be without Joe Ingles for the rest of the year. Nate, I did want to bring up Rajon Rondo, who's playing in Cleveland right now, and he gave some, just some huge praise to rookie Evan Mobley. This Evan Mobley kid's had an incredible season. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the rookie of the year. If things continue, the Cavaliers, they're, I think, 4th in the East, maybe 3rd in the East, having such a tremendous year. It's very, very atypical for us to see the Cleveland Cavaliers in a playoff position or even just having any sort of success without a guy by the name of LeBron James.
100%. There's a few things I want to bring up right now too, because Evan Mobley, 3rd overall pick, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Does he not have the longest legs in the league?
Oh man,
they might be the longest legs in the league.
He looks like he's like 8 feet.
Yeah, I know.
When you look at him, and I'm glad you bring that up. Nate. Yeah, but they play with Jared Allen, who best hair in the league, maybe.
Oh, there's chatter.
Just unbelievable hair on Jared Allen. And then Evan Mobley, obviously, and then they've got Lauri Markkanen from the Bulls, and these guys are all like 7-footers, and they play just big, and that's how they play the game. And this Darius Garland guy, I think he's an all-star, will be an all-star. The Cavaliers are good, and they got Kevin Love on the bench.
Yeah, that's
coming
right.
off the bench, and K Love, who obviously was with Cleveland in 2016 when they beat, and he was traded for Andrew Wiggins when Wiggins went to the Timberwolves.
Okay, there's a little trade tree action for you.
Yeah.
An interesting thing I saw the other day, it was Russell Westbrook, and he came out and said it's like they were talking about playoffs, like you think you're going to get in, and he's like, you know what, we just want to get to the dance.
Yeah.
And then whatever can happen. So that got me looking at because when you think of the NBA, it's like you have the 1v8. It's like
how
the
often,
8's not winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went and took a look at the seeds of what percentage of seeds win. So if you finish in the 4th seed to the 8th seed, guess how many times those teams have won the NBA championship in the NBA history?
Oh gosh.
Combined 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many do you think?
10%. That's high. 5%.
I'm not actually sure on percent, but number.
The amount of times?
Yeah.
12 times.
2
times.
A 4 seed and a 6 seed.
Wow.
That's it. Other than that, it's like
you're talking 1, 2, 3 seeds.
Mostly it's 1, 2. Yeah. 3 is only like 17, and then obviously 1 is the highest one. But I thought that was kind of crazy.
That's an insane stat.
It's wild, eh?
Yeah. So
Twice.
Hey, if just to kind of confirm your facts, Russell Westbrook, you do not want to get into the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like it's in different sports. Sure. You get to the NFL, it's a 1-gamer. Yeah. Hockey, obviously, as we saw last year with Montreal, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But in the NBA,
it's
tough. It even goes to NCAA when you look at the 1v16.
So if you're in the West too, for the Lakers, say you're a 7-8 seed.
Yeah, what are you going to match up against Golden State?
Well, 1, you could lose a play-in game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then 2, and then you got Phoenix or Golden State.
Yeah,
so it's like
you're toast.
Yeah, you're not looking good.
No.
But yeah, it's a great point. And Nate, I just wanted to move kind of back into the trade center outlook. So the Sixers are having a great year. Joel Embiid, probably right now the front runner for the NBA MVP. The Sixers are having a tremendous season, but they have their max contract point guard still on the trade block. Like, for me as a general manager, I'm like, man, our team, we're a great team. Like, let's trade this guy and let's get some superstars to help out.
Well, yeah, you're going to get an outrageous return. So, try and get it done before the trade deadline so your team can gel going into the playoffs.
No, exactly.
We'll see.
No, we'll see what happens there in Philadelphia. I would love for it to happen, but there's also the rumors that James Harden potentially postseason would be on the market for a guy like Ben Simmons, but we'll see what happens there, Nate.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The Raptors have played the Heat, I think, twice in the last 2 weeks, and they won both games, but a guy by the name of Kyle Lowry sat out both games. He's actually away from the team due to personal matters right now, and obviously I'm not going to dive into that, but
does anyone know what it is, or is he just...
I don't think it's public right now, but do you think Kyle Lowry, it would have been a shame, because when the Heat traveled to Toronto this week, there was no fans. That would have been terrible for Kyle Lowry's return.
Maybe he just waited it out to get the actual...
I don't... Yeah. Does that make... I don't know.
I don't know. I can't speculate.
No, exactly. We're not going to speculate.
And hopefully everything's okay with the guy.
But I would hope that maybe they wouldn't have done anything.
That's what I mean. Skip it. They did it for Zach Hyman when he came back. They did it. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yes,
wait
this is
for such
fans.
A crapshoot, man.
Yeah.
Why would you ruin it like that?
When you got to wait for the building to be able to celebrate it, and for him to get an ovation. And Kyle Lowry might be a guy who knows one day to have a statue in Toronto. Might be, who knows? I'd love for that, to happen for that guy. He's such a tremendous leader. he was the heartbeat of the Raptors for
dude.
For a long time, 10 years at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got All-Star just around the corner, Nate, 3 weeks away. Like we mentioned, we got Brandon Scoop B Robinson going to be joining us for that. He signed a big Spotify deal today. He's a Bally basketball insider, so we'll be excited to have on Scoop B and kind of pick his brain and ask him some NBA questions.
Yep.
Nate,
halftime?
It is time for the Daily Intermission halftime show today, brought to you by, we don't have sponsors yet, but hopefully someday we might.
We're looking for it, folks. All right.
All right, Nate, you starting things off or am I starting things off?
We'll get right into it.
Okay.
So we're doing Guess the Age.
Yep.
Obviously, you guys are probably familiar with it, but we'll explain the rules. I'm going to give Greg an athlete. He is going to try and guess as close as humanly possible to that number. And I think in our history of doing this on the podcast, we have one, and it was Greg with, is it John Elway? You got it at 61 years old?
I think so.
I believe so.
So we've got one right, and one is the winning score. Let's see if anybody can get on the board today. It could be a 0-0 draw. I'm assuming it's going to go that way.
Yep.
But who knows?
We will see. We got Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles' boyfriend.
Ooh, 24.
26.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Close.
Yes, very close. It's a tough one.
Caitlyn Jenner.
66.
Ooh, 72.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, that was man, it's tough.
It's so
when
tough.
they get up, like when it gets up a bit,
Yeah.
you kind of lose track.
Oh, for sure.
Like when I asked you Bob Barker. All right, here's one that I kind of pulled out of the woodwork. I haven't heard this name in a while. Tracy McGrady.
Oh, T-Mac.
Yeah.
52.
42.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a lot younger than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe it just seems like he's been under the league for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Mike Tyson.
Come on, man. 59.
Wow. 55.
Wow, okay.
He's a guy who looks a little older than 55.
Well, yeah, he's been repeatedly beaten the head.
Yeah, and he does like DMT and shrooms, and I think he smokes like a joint every 15 minutes.
Is that right?
I can't confirm that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Bruce Boudreau.
Oh, 64.
67. It's a
Wow.
good guess, though.
Okay.
It's a good guess. He honestly doesn't look 67.
Yeah. Serena Williams.
36.
40.
Oh, man.
I need to get one here. I'm getting this one.
You might. Jonathan Papelbon.
38.
41. So close. My last one you could be able to get.
Okay, here, Nate.
Is this the last one?
No.
Okay.
Dennis Shapovalov.
24.
22.
Oh! Thought I had it.
Yeah,
Thought I had it. I was thinking that. No, I'm just kidding. Tim Stützle.
20.
Bang.
Let's go.
Ding, 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 ding.
He just turned 20 like a month ago.
20
right?
a month ago. Trying to grease you a bit. But.
Linus Allmark.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try and break this down because I think I can get it. I know he's a little bit older.
Nate looking to tie the game here.
I know he's a little bit older. He kind of came in the league late. Man, I'm going to say 29.
Oh, he's 28.
I was gonna say 30, so it's
Okay.
I'm glad I went that way. Damn.
Okay, well
Can't do it,
that's
man.
not terrible.
No, I mean we're pretty close on quite
Yeah,
a few of them.
1 of
you
10
got one again, so you're technically up 2-0 in the long
In the
running
Guess the
series.
Age.
So.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean that's good fun, but that's the halftime show today, brought to you by
Absolutely nothing.
absolutely nobody.
Okay.
Nate, quarter 3 of the Daily Intermission podcast, episode 13 of season 2.
Yep.
We're moving into the NHL. And I wanted to start things off by apologizing to all the fans. I mean, we bring on an apology every once in a while, but preseason, Nate and I were fairly bullish on the Seattle Kraken. And the Seattle Kraken have promptly been maybe the biggest dumpster fire in the NHL. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say last night they got their first shutout as a franchise.
I saw that.
Which is like...
Philip Grubauer.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I guess it's only February and, it happens, but yeah, they've been terrible. And I think the real reason why we thought they were there, I think we obviously had the Vegas in our head.
Yes.
Pretty hard. I think another factor is we took a look at that division and we were like, It ain't great.
That's right.
Like we were like, okay, Vegas and Edmonton won too, but I didn't expect the Ducks to do this good.
Well, the California teams have actually been a lot better than I was expecting.
Man.
I mean, we wrote them. I thought those three teams were easily the basement three teams. Well, the Ducks shoved it upper hoop.
Yep.
The Kings have been surprisingly competitive, and as well as the Sharks. I mean, I mean, and I look at that. I stare at the Kraken roster sometimes, and I'm like, what were we thinking?
Yeah, I know.
They have,
and we did it after the draft too. And we even said the draft was terrible, and we still went and did it. Like it was ridiculous, but
they've got nobody for superstars.
No, not even close. I mean, what would it be like Jaden Schwartz?
Oh,
the best guy.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking. Yeah. Anyway,
Giordano's a complete wash.
Yeah, they're a long ways away, and maybe this is the way that expansion teams are supposed to go. You know, they're supposed to struggle, and
well, you look back at the teams like that came in the 2000s, and the rules were completely different back then.
Yeah,
you could protect damn near the whole team back in the day. Atlanta pulled nothing.
Yeah,
had no shot coming out of the gate. So
they were brutal too for the entirety of their lifespan. Did they ever have a playoff run?
They made the playoffs once. I think it was 2007, and they were promptly swept by the New York Rangers. So they have one playoff appearance and no wins.
That's just insane. But yeah, I don't. It's going to be a tough season, you know, for the Seattle Kraken. Who's their all-star, Nate?
Seattle?
Yeah.
I think it's a D-man. Is it done?
Vincer dropped him in fantasy a couple weeks back. Apologize, Vince, if you're an all-star.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Eberle.
I don't think I can pull it up.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Jeff Petrie, Nate, has requested a trade out of Montreal.
Yeah. Okay. Sick Petrie.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who, I don't know, he's probably on the back, tail end of his career. He understands that they're nowhere as near. I mean, they're having a write-off of a year. They're probably going to absolutely blow things up at the trade deadline.
He's been terrible this year.
Yeah, he has.
He's been terrible.
What's he got for points?
Oh, man.
I mean,
he scored his first of the year not that long ago. Obviously, the teams are right off, too.
Awful.
For sure, but... it's I don't know. I mean, I've even watched him just on the defensive side of the puck, and a few times I'm watching him, I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah,
like he's just completely caught in no man's land. But I mean, it would probably be tough to stay motivated too, at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, you got guys playing in the lineup night after night after night who just are AHL caliber. You probably don't know them. He's a veteran guy. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see Jeff Petrie get a new spot, new home, because I think he can add a lot of offensive, pedigree to a power play, and I think that he's got a lot of game left.
I mean, I would gladly take him on my team
for sure.
For
sure. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, Montreal's going to be sellers. I mean, you have to think looking down that lineup. Ben Sherrod's another name that's been kind of been floating around for a long time. I think someone like the Leafs. I mean, the Leafs would certainly be in the market for a guy like Jeff Petrie. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But
for sure,
the cap retention that you'd need.
Yeah, what's he at? Like $6 million?
I think so.
6.2, something like that. I mean, you'd have to take the 50% off right off the bat, which is the maximum you can retain.
That's right.
So, I mean, it'd still be tough for them to squeeze in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that would be a great grab for Toronto, though.
For sure.
They don't really have that big right-handed guy. They barely have a right-handed D.
Well, was it Justin Hall? And Nilligan.
Yeah. I mean, that's a guy I'd probably be targeting is Petrie. Yeah. That's a...
the Leafs defense core I think is going to be addressed the trade line, but we're not getting into Leafs talk today because we're talking All-Star game.
Yeah,
it's going to be huge. Tonight is the NHL skills competition. It's going to be absolutely electric. I mean, what a venue. I mean, everything's better in Vegas. I don't think that's a saying. I just made that up. But it's going to be awesome, man, with the Bellagio fountain and just, being in Vegas, having that kind of gambling, kind of masquerade type theme feel to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some replacements to note, Nate. We got Nazem Kadri's going. Should have been going in the first place.
Should have been, yeah.
Evgeny Kuznetsov, I think they should monitor his, whereabouts and what he's got going on.
100%. Absolutely wild.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Roman Yossi's going. Obviously, another guy who
should have been there. Ridiculous.
And Brady Tkachuk's going to replace our guy Drake Batherson.
Yeah.
Some big names there, and it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, Nate. I was going to get us to predict who wins. We're going to do this off the whim because we have no idea who's competing in what event.
Okay. I was going to say just another add to Ovechkin, obviously, as you mentioned earlier in the show.
Oh, that's right.
He has COVID, and he has... Did you see his replacement?
I did not.
It's Tom Wilson. Which should be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be good. I'm excited to see what Tom's going to be. I mean, you could probably throw him in fastest skater.
Or fastest skater.
I don't think hardest shot, but
no?
I mean, you could throw him in maybe like accuracy shooting. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's one thing that really stands out to me. He's a fast guy. Maybe throw him in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if he takes Ovechkin's and he's going
I'm taking McDavid. I'm taking McDavid and fastest skater.
Well, yeah, he's got to be paying minus $700 million.
Okay, I'm just letting you know I'm hammering him.
Okay.
I don't know how to shot. Like I can't even think. Like Weber and Char have been. Stamkos isn't going.
No, I was looking at who was registered the hardest shots this year, just during play because they have the micro tracking in the pucks. And, you know, it's great. I looked at that stat because now I can't remember. But Kempe was up there.
Okay. Who's going from the Kings?
I believe Kempe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they might have him in that event.
I imagine they probably will.
Yep. There's got to be some defensemen.
There was someone who was right above Ovechkin, and I can't. It just doesn't stick out in my head right away.
Marty Frick?
Well, he might come in and just pound it 200 and peel. Say
Trevor
no foul needed.
Trevor Zegras is going for the breakaway comp.
Yeah.
And guess who else is going to compete?
Who?
Pavel Barber.
No, he's not.
They're bringing in Pavel Barber.
Are they?
Zach Bell from Always Hockey. I mean, it'll be kind of fun. Those guys do ridiculous things.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if they're competing in the breakaway challenge or if they've got their own sort of event, but there's going to be a multitude of new events. We're doing a watch along for that.
Yep.
So we'll be live on TikTok and YouTube. The majority of it TikTok, but we'll switch over to YouTube. But we're going to be watching that tomorrow night. So if you plan on tuning into the NHL skills competition, might as well pop on and have us on your phone and watch along with us.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely legendary. That'll conclude quarter 3.
All right.
Quarter 4 of the Daily Intermission, Nate. We are moving into Australian Open and PGA Tour and Olympics talk.
Yeah.
Australian Open, Rafa Nadal takes it down. Did we talk about that last episode?
I can't remember. I think so.
Maybe we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. So we'll talk about the women's side.
It's 21.
Yeah, he's at 21 now.
Yeah, 21.
Oh, no, we were talking about Australian Open on our business conference.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Hard to keep track these days.
Yeah, we talk sports all the time. Okay, so Rafa Nadal, 21 championships. He's now one ahead of Rafa Nadal one ahead of Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. But we're kind of having that question, you know, who's the greatest of all time in tennis? And I know it's subjective. I know it's arbitrary and it's very opinionated. Who's the greatest men's tennis player of all time? But it's interesting. I think for the remainder of time, or at least for the next kind of the foreseeable future, it's going to be a 3-name game. I mean, those 3 will always be brought up.
Sure.
Roger was the first to do it. Rafa dominated on clay, and Djokovic. I mean, it's hard. Like he's beat these guys.
Well, that's what they say. And shout out to Declan Smith. He was in our business conference the other day, but he was saying, in his opinion, like on clay, it's Nadal.
Yeah,
no doubt.
For sure.
And that's the most interesting thing about it is, like, you can almost argue there could be 3 different ones just based off their play styles on what they play on.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I mean, it's a 3-headed monster there. Like, take your pick.
Absolutely. And so moving into the women's side, Ashley Barty, the number 1 seed, she was the first Australian to win the Australian Open in 44 years. And I was thinking, man, like, it's been, that's insane, like, of any gender. And I was like, well, obviously in the men's side, the Australian Open, I mean, that's 61 championships in 4 tournaments a year. 61. I mean, I'm not going to do the math, but that's over like 25 years of those 3 winning.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's
outrageous.
Insane.
No, it's crazy. I mean, like, imagine coming into tennis and being like, well, it's sick that I'm here, but I have no shot.
Yeah.
But
I know.
It's just like,
I'm actually fairly confident that Denis Shapovalov or Felix, I can't do it. But Felix will win a major. Like, those 2 guys are insane. They're so young. They're incredible players. They both lost in the quarterfinals. I mean, both 5 sets to the 2 top players in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I think those guys are going to have good runs, Nate. Mm-hmm. But we'll look forward to a couple tournaments coming up. I think it's the Wells Fargo. Is that correct? No, not the Wells Fargo. There's one.
That's golf, no?
Yeah, that is golf. There's a tennis event coming up. There's one I think it's Atlanta and one in Miami, but we'll be covering them closely. We'll probably have a guest on as well from the tennis realm to talk about that. Nate, moving into the PGA Tour, Pebble Beach, Spyglass Hill, and the Monterey Peninsula. It's another Pro-Am, the second in 3 weeks. So there's a 3-round, 54-hole cut. Who's your one and done? Who you on? Who you like?
I'm on Patty Cantlay.
Okay.
And I haven't got a whole lot of narrative behind it, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't been doing good.
He's just an absolute stick.
I know, he's a stick. What is he? Is he 14th or is he 4th?
In the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think he might be 4th.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I took him. I just kind of thought, I'm not going to take him for a major. I may as well start running some big dogs. Like I took Corey Connors, as we talked about on another podcast, and it's like, what am I doing taking these guys so high up? Like I'm taking a big dog, and we'll see what happens. I haven't looked what he's at yet, but I'm half worried about it.
Yeah,
I can't afford to miss any more cuts.
Yeah,
I'm not completely screwed.
Absolutely. Obviously, the 3-day runway this week. I'm on a guy by the name of Jason Day, a guy who was sniffing around last week. Man, his tournament history here. I mean, we talk about horse for the course. It is outrageous. He's been like runner up. He's been a top 10 finisher here at least for the last 6 years at this event.
Yeah,
coming off a top 5 last week. Game rounding into form. This is a guy who's won major championships. He's won 12 times on tour. I was all over Jason Day this week. But yeah, I'd be interested to see who's running. And are you looking at the leaderboard right now, Nate?
I am. Yeah, I'm just so we got Hoagie still.
Tom Hoagie.
And this is at the time of recording. By Friday morning, it'll obviously be different.
Yeah.
We got our boy Seamus Power absolutely humming.
He's having a great season.
He is, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a look and see where Cantlay is. Oh, man. Oh, no. Okay, so Jason Day's 3 under through 17.
Money.
Looking pretty good. Cantlay has not appeared on my thing yet. Speech, 2 under. Just taking a roll here. And I don't know if Cantlay, he may be 100 over.
That's all right.
I must have missed him.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't foresee him playing that bad.
I don't either. Yeah, no, I missed him. So anyway, sorry about that, everyone. And maybe just check yourself because I apparently am not worthy to do it.
So Nate's on Catley. I'm on Day. I'm not sure the people in the 1 and 9 pool who they're on, but we'll continue to monitor that Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And obviously there's a lot of amateurs in the event. Bill Murray's a classic. And a bunch of celebrities who will end up playing. I know Mookie Betts is playing. Jake Owen's playing with Jordan Spieth. So a lot of the amateurs make it a fun event, fun 3 days there in California. Nate, the Winter Olympics are on and they're going. So I know the women Canadian team won 12-1 last night. So we'll as the events start to roll,
it's just
in,
absolutely classic.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really not really much of a tournament until the Canada-U.S. gold medal game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's crazy how non-competitive Sweden is on the women's side.
Yeah,
they're way down there. They're almost in like relegation every time. It's wild.
I think that hopefully that landscape gets more invested in, and there's some more talent dispersion throughout the European countries and just across the globe. Nate, that will conclude episode 13. Man, any shout outs, any dog waters, any fire wagons you want to shout out before we wrap this thing up?
I haven't got a fire wagon. If I'm gonna go fire wagon of the week, I'm going on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. 100% big comeback win.
For sure.
My dog water of the week is Leon Draisaitl being an absolute clown last night, just absolutely ripping his stick into guys' crotches.
Yeah, okay.
That's dog water of the week for me. I like that. Keeping it short and sweet. What about you?
My fire wagon of the week is Tom Brady. I'll do a memoir here at the beginning of an episode coming up, but thank you, Tom, for 20 years of football and really inspiring people around the world to play and just being the greatest the sport's ever seen. And my dog water of the week is a guy by the name of Will Zalatoris. Will missed a 10-footer last week to lose on the PGA Tour. And then this week, he said in an interview after his loss, he said, "This reminds me a lot of my Corn Ferry experience. I'm going to go win next week. Gets COVID. Won't be playing this week." So Will Zalatoris is my dog water of the week.
That is a perfect dog water of the week. I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Thank you for tuning in.
Let's go.